other writers, and being an amateur writer, I read that stuff and say, yeah, I know what they're saying. I kind of feel it. It's tough. It's a tough job that you have, and but you do it very well. You do.
Oh, well, thank you. And I honestly, I cannot complain. It's a pretty excellent job. I think there are other people who have much tougher jobs. I mean, we could be cave diving trying to rescue kids in Thailand. That sounds hard.
Right. Oh, absolutely. There's a ton of stuff. But hey, we all have our own demons.
Little challenges.
Yeah, and challenges, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Now, I did happen to see you last week on Monday night on the History Channel on Hot Rods and Muscle Cars. You were one of the commentators, along with Steve Linden, who's a friend of ours.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, there's Elana. Look, she's on TV. How did you get that gig?
How did I do?
You did great. No, you did fantastic. Yeah.
How did I get that gig? I'd been on a History Channel car show about a year previously. A different production team, I think, had made it, and then I think Jeff Thested gave them my number because they asked him to be on it.
Okay.
So that's how that stuff always happens. It's like, whoever the production team is. And this time they were actually car people, which was really nice. I thought that it was a kind of fun show to be on. But they call whoever they know, and they're like, we need people who know about this. And
sure.
If you're lucky, somebody puts your name forward, and
right.
And so that was nice. I thought they did a good job on that show, and I thought it was cool that they had slightly more diverse talkers than normally you'd see on a history piece about cars. So.
Right. They're calling that Car Week, so they're doing all sorts of car-oriented stuff. They had a show on trucks and Hot Wheels special the other night.
It's like Shark Week, but with cars.
With Prudhomme and McEwen.
Right.
And I think they had a Land Speed one as well, which was pretty cool.
Yes. And our friend Billy Lynch, the old Top Fuel racer and team owner, is supposed to be on, I think, this week. I'm waiting to see when he's going to make it. But, cool stuff. You were also, talk about lofty goals and aspirations. You were at Pikes Peak.
I was. In fact, I feel like I'm just now recovering my blood oxygen levels.
Oh, yeah.
So, the Pikes Peak Hill Climb annual race, I think it's the second oldest race in America. I think Indy 500 beats it by a year or two. Yeah. But it's a pretty amazing event. It's similar in some ways to Bonneville, where it's like it's still a mix of kind of big dollar teams and just full on independence, because it's just so hard to do and so hard to cover that there's kind of no money in it, which sort of makes the racing the best.
Yeah. I remember we followed, of course, Aaron Kaufman from
Gas Monkey?
Yeah, but he was already on his own. He did build cars at Gas Monkey at Falcon, and that was kind of like a nice. I thought it was a different insight than you usually see, because it showed how he built this car by himself, and he is an accomplished builder, and even he had problems, and that's, let's face it, we don't get this right the first time all the time when we build stuff. It's Elana. I mean, you drive on. We drive on New York highways. You drive on L.A. highways. So we're kind of like stuck with the same crap on different sides of the country.
Yeah, it's true. We're hitting the same potholes.
Yeah, there
you
go.
Instead of sister cities, we've got sister potholes.
Yeah, and traffic, and of course you're driving some big Land Cruisers yourself. You have that Polara, right? That's the
yeah. Well, Tom's been driving the Polara recently because he's fussier about having air conditioning than I am. So I've been driving the Opal.
Opel GT.
The Opel, yes.
Yeah. And the Challenger's back on the road. You got that up and going, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I've got the 70 Challenger, and I think the last time, I think when I first talked to you guys, it was probably running just with the stock 440, and then now it's got this 505 cubic inch stroker motor, and it's quite the beast.
Oh yeah.
Who needs air conditioning with something like that?
Yeah.
You just got airflow then.
I guess you don't take that to work a lot, right? You don't put that on the freeway, I'm sure, in traffic.
I did a commute down to LAX in it once, and I can't say that it was great. Right. I mean, it was fine. It got me there. But I recently drove it all the way out to Lancaster, and it was a pretty hot day, and that was, it was fine. I was hot. It was fine.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's very good. Did you ever pick up a new carpool buddy?
No. In fact, I haven't been carpooling a lot recently because, I've been mostly doing, freelance stuff for the last few months. So it's been either on the road to cover stories, or I've been working from home. So the most exciting thing in my life right now is that I got like a new fancy keyboard to prevent having wrist injuries.
Oh yeah.
The glamorous life of a writer, right?
And of course, I found that out when I sent you an email, and it came right back to me because it was the old email address. I'm like, okay, what happened now? Where is she? So that was time to text, like, hey, where are you? She's like, no, new email address.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. I got to catch up with you guys. How's everything?
We're
the Pontiac.
Yeah, my Pontiac is up and running. It's a driver. I was just explaining to the guys how I was going to do some work on it in May, and it's sitting in my garage in the same exact, with the driver's seats on the deck lid and the consoles on the back seat. I haven't had time to put it together because I'm working at a friend's shop, and I come home either too tired to work on my own car.
Yeah, we get toasted. I mean, what ends up happening is we end up working on other people's cars.
Exactly.
Because it's like, hey, 3 other people tried to fix this, or somebody tried to do this job and screwed it up. Could you unscrew it?
Yeah.
And then by that time, there's nothing left for our own stuff. My Z is sitting there.
I get it.
Yeah, so
I spend most of my time at racetracks, but very rarely behind the wheel of my own car.
Right. Yeah, you're involved with Roadkill also now too, correct?
Yeah. Well, so here's the catch up, which is I did the year and a half with Roadkill, which was super fun, and then I left the company in February, and so I've been freelance ever since. So, I'm still doing some stuff for Hot Rod, which is great. I'm not doing my column for them anymore, the Daily Driver column.
I do miss that. Yeah,
that was some cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm doing a version of it for a magazine called American Collector Cars.
Oh, okay.
So I'll give them a little plug here because they're kind of a smaller magazine. They're really fun. Editor's great, and he gave me more words. So
cool.
Kind of a longer version of the
column. More work. So sometimes more words are good, and sometimes it's like, oh no.
Yeah, at that point,
no, it's good. It's good because I always loved doing that column, and like we've talked about before, when you write a columm, it's just about driving your car every day. You always have something to write about.
Right.
So,
especially out there, I'm sure.
Even if it's French fries in the seat, there's always,
exactly. Yeah. Or I was thinking about writing a column that's sort of just listing all the ways that people in new cars really screw you up when you're in an old car, like at the gas station. And this is like a sin anyway, right? Like when you're at the gas station and all the pumps are full and people are sitting there not doing anything at the pump, like they're just sitting there in their car.
They're checking their phones. They're cleaning their ashtrays. Yep.
It's like they could just pull up.
Right.
And it's annoying no matter what car you're in. But when you're in an old car and you're sitting there watching, visually seeing your gas,
gas gauge
go down towards empty, and you're like,
gas gauge goes down, temperature gauge goes up.
Behind you in this gas station.
Right.
So. Yeah. That's like a major sin, I think.
That's a good one. That's very good. Yeah.
That is very inconsiderate. I think, though, a couple of throttle snaps might just wake them up, no?
Yeah, especially if it's still in drive.
Or an air horn.
Burn out.
Yeah.
Light the tires, yeah.
550 cubic inches.
That is so cool. That's
ma'am, do you realize that my engine is 3 times the size of your entire car? Now move!
It's like
if you don't want to get eaten, that is.
I realized that driving a Pontiac with 2 4-barrels on it, I tell people, if people say, how's it run? I'm like, yeah, it runs pretty good. Every time I started, 3 Priuses C's. It's my carbon footprint is like, I get letters from the EPA, but hey, okay.
You got a carbon footprint
we all have our environmental sins, and and hopefully we all make them up in one way or another.
Right. But I got to say, before I forget, our good friend Billy G, I was in touch with him. He wanted me to say hello to you and express his just his greetings because he hasn't talked to you in a while either. So it's
or as we say in New York, how you doing?
Right.
Yeah, how you doing?
Very good.
Nice, very nice.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
What's the California equivalent of that? Just so we know. Not that we're going to do it, but just so we know.
I don't know. Maybe like, what's up, dude?
All right. Okay. We hear that once in a while. Right.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hang loose.
Well, tell Bill I say hi, and he's has his big show coming up. That's in like September or something, right?
That is correct.
The Malba show is coming up, right? And we're scheduled to do a live remote from that show.
Yes, on the balcony of a house there. We're going to be overlooking the entire scene. Oh, my God. It's going to be a thing.
Up.
Yeah, literally, they're putting us on the balcony. And if we would have known, guys, we could have maybe next year we could do it at your show.
We're actually going to invite you to the show.
Okay. They usually stick us behind the porta potty. So
usually,
definitely. We're trying for the food, but they know better.
Usually, me and Joe hang out behind this one tree, waiting for the ice cream line to go down, so we could barnstorm it. Like, ice cream. But whatever.
Classic good humor truck. I love it.
We bring that sometimes.
Yeah, excellent. So what's going on? I know the projects are. Do you still have the car hauler that you were working on a couple of years ago, or is that?
Yeah.
Nice.
So no progress on that one.
Okay.
I mean, it's sort of we've got bits of it that are in body shop jail. So
that's a tough one.
We did, and when I say we, if there's any listeners who aren't already familiar with us, all of us in this gang, my husband Tom and I, we did finish our Cummins diesel swap on our 1978 crew cab dually.
Nice. That's a
Cummins.
And it's really awesome.
Yeah, that's
I
a good
really
truck.
liked it.
Anything with a Cummins is pretty damn impressive.
Dually, yeah. I mean, that's the way you want to cruise that on the highway, on the freeways of L.A. Get out of my way.
Yeah, you don't want to park it, but it's so nice to drive it. But it's really cool, and if anybody wants to, I'll send you guys a picture. But if anybody wants to see it, all my social media stuff is Challenge Her, and there are photos of it.
Right.
But it's okay. So it's a 1978 crew cab Dodge dually. So it's already pretty much the biggest truck that you could buy.
Yeah, that's a
in
big
the time,
truck.
and possibly ever. I mean, I think it's basically this truck or a semi. But the guy that we got it from the original owner.
Nice.
And he was a boat racer, and he painted it in 1983 to match his boat.
Mm-hmm.
So just think of some very short shorts and a members only jacket or something, and then bright yellow truck, and a lot of it with green and red and orange stripes and pinstriping.
Very 80s.
And
that cocaine was very popular then.
Yeah, right.
It's so amazing, and it's you look at it and you're like, oh, but then you're like, okay, I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
So,
but then again, something with that much
great.
size and power, it could be any color it wants.
That's right.
Totally. Nobody's going to make fun of it.
I'm already thinking the Opel could go into bed, and with a set of ramps, you got dual purpose there.
I'm thinking maybe I should paint the Opel to match it.
A mini version, that'd be cool. Yeah,
Mini.
Yeah,
it'd be like mini Corvette Summer.
Right. Yeah. That is so cool.
True. That's incredible. Yeah. How is the Opel, by the way?
The Opel's a champ. Really.
Yeah.
I know that you like to make fun of me for it, but
No.
honestly,
We
it's
love the Opel.
Car.
It was Chris. It was our last co-host who was the one that gave you crap over it. We love the Opel.
Well, no, let's get something straight. That car gets a lot of respect from me. Back in the day, when that car was new, in my other life, my drummer used to have one of those things. That car we went in that car every place.
Really?
And sometimes there was 6 people in that car.
Jeez.
So it actually was a small chamber that defied the laws of physics.
Yeah.
But it
That
never
is very
stopped.
impressive, yeah, because
Wow.
it's only got 2 seats.
Right, yeah, well, there's that back area there. And
Yeah, we got a little shelf, a little friend shelf.
Yeah. Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, so here's a funny Opel story for you guys. So, I've been driving the Opel for a while, and it's a 4-speed, and I kind of got my manual driving skills on that car. So, it's been interesting to see, to get more comfortable. The other day, I had to be in West Hollywood, which is, kind of directly over the hill from where I live.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And normally you just go on the freeways around, but it was rush hour, and I was like, I'm going to take Laurel Canyon, which is a very, very, very steep hill that goes directly over the Hollywood Hills that drops you right down top of Hollywood on Sunset.
Yeah, okay.
And it was super trafficy. So imagine bumper to bumper on a super steep hill,
Great.
and in an old school
With 1970 something brakes.
Yeah, and it's not the down part; it's the up part.
Yeah,
So so I'm inching my way up, and riding the clutch and, you know, stressing out, but I make it all the way over, and I'm like really proud of myself. I'm like, no, you know, you can't say you drive a manual car unless you can do this.
Yeah.